Hello everyone and welcome back to MVP Mindset.
Today we have our very own guest from women's soccer, Miss Cam Patton. Cam, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Tell us a little bit about you and what made you to come to TCU.
I'm a part of the TCU women's soccer team. I'm a freshman outside back here, and actually I graduated high school last December, and I started here at TCU in January 2024. So. And let me tell you, I've loved it. So technically this is my second semester here, and I just love every minute of it. The people, the community, this athletics program, and it's just like I'm just so happy to be here. So I'm also just a very outgoing person, and also I'm a Christian athlete, and that's very important to me. So yeah, but that's just a little bit about me.
So I know like a lot of soccer players, they get recruited early, and I know the NCAA does prevent that now, but like was TCU something you were always looking at? Like how TCU? Like how did we get here?
So I kind of always wanted to stay in state because my family lives here. I live in Austin, which is about 3 hours away. Yeah. And I was actually down to 2 schools. It was between Texas and TCU. Yes, yeah. So, and I was actually thinking about canceling my visit here because I was that close to committing to UT. But the coach just said, come on up, and I went on my visit, and I was like, wow. Like, I mean, completely 360 turn, and I mean, I committed like a few days after my visit here. And it's just, at TCU, I just found the perfect balance between like campus life and athletics program, and I loved it, and I'm like, this is it, and it's also like not too far from home and like close enough, so it's like it just was a perfect fit. So,
I love that.
Yeah.
So given that when you came into like college athletics, did you know about NIL?
I did. I mean, it was still new, so I'm still kind of figuring it out right now. Yeah. But it's been a fun journey so far. So, but yeah, I did know a little bit about it.
So talk about your journey. Like, how did you first get involved? Yeah.
So I'm still kind of new to all this since I'm a freshman, and my goal is to continue to like build my NIL like throughout since I'm going to be an athlete here for 4 years. But the main thing I did was just reach out to a few brands, and they accepted me as an athlete, and I mean I answered some of their questions and they liked me, and just kind of like one step in front of the other. But it was honestly it was like the first step was just me reaching out to the brands that I was interested in, and then not only were these brands that I was interested in, but also these brands I want people to know. Like I want them to know Undrdog Athletix and Firefly Recovery. So yeah.
Did you hear about those companies before coming to TCU, or once you get here you start like digging more into NIL and we're like, hey, I actually want to partner with these companies?
Yeah, so actually I did know Undrdog Athletix before I came here, and I was like, I can't wait to graduate high school to get an NIL deal with them. But then actually since I got here, Firefly, I started using their products and I loved it, and I was like, wow, I would love to get an NIL deal with them just to promote their brand. So yeah.
So you said that you just reached them out, but was the only thing that you did, or you had like some help on the background of how to get those deals?
Because usually the things that you did requires like we took
a little bit of knowledge. Full
class that was telling us, okay, this is what you do. It seemed like you already knew. Like, was there somebody helping you?
My dad, he runs his own company and like works with college athletes, so I kind of have that helps a little bit for sure. And honestly, it was just about the biggest thing was just communication with the commissioners of the brands, and just like sending a few emails back and forth, and I also talked with the NIL at TCU to make sure the deals were legitimate, of course, and through open doors.
That's important, guys.
Yes.
Use your student athlete development at your school, they help.
For sure. So I would definitely go through TCU NIL, but yes.
Awesome.
So maybe let's start with Firefly. Tell us a little more about how the deal has been and how has been the partnership with them, the contracts too. How has been the experience?
Yeah, so like I said, I initially reached out to them, and then when they accepted me as an athlete, they gave me 3 months to do a post on Instagram and also either do a video on TikTok or an Instagram reel. I posted one picture on my Instagram profile of me modeling the product, and then I'm still in the making of the video. But yeah, and they've been very helpful about like the, you know, what's on the agreement, about like what I need to do, and they also gave me like free Fireflies, which is pretty nice. So
something I really love, because again, we do a little research on the people we talk to, and the biggest thing and we've discussed this in the previous episodes, like the biggest thing, and it's a stigma, is that you need like all these Instagram followers. You need tens of thousands. You need 2,000. So I looked at yours. You're at like 1,300, which is to like textbook NIL, like people that are teaching it would say that's not enough. And so for you to get 2 deals with that many followers, I feel like really embodies the fact that it's not about who's following you. It's about like what you represent. It's about who you are.
Yes.
And I love that. I feel like you really embody that perfectly.
well, thank you. And you know, I was actually going to touch on that. I mean, like some people may feel like they don't have the place to reach out to brands because of their following, but that's not necessarily true.
Right.
And you know, I'm trying to like grow my NIL, and I don't have a lot of followers right now, but my goal is to, you know, I'm just kind of at the bottom of the totem pole. I kind of want to grow and like get more brand deals in the future. So
That's a bar.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah, and when it comes to NIL, it's okay. Many people just, oh, you play a sport, that's who you are, and I'm Cam, the soccer player. But there's the other phase of it too, like everything that you do beside the sport that you have, like what's your lifestyle, what you want to show, like all that also creates the identity of the person. You're like also a human being beside an athlete. How do you think do you bring that to the table, to the deals that you are working with?
I think like being who you are, I mean, is like just the number one, and I think that will like fall into place on like how many deals you'll get. And I think, you know, learning in my NIL class is like the unfair advantage, like what makes you different compared to everyone else. And you know, that's not necessarily like the number of followers you have. It's about like what's your personality, what do you bring to the table. So yeah.
Uniqueness. What was the word we used? Authenticity.
Yes.
And I think that was perfectly said. Like, you need to be authentic. Just be who you are. Have your personality.
Exactly.
So with Firefly, kind of tell me, like, what is it about that you love so much?
Well, number one, I started using the product and it works.
Right.
You know? So Firefly Recovery is a neurotransmitter device that you put on your leg, and it helps you recover 3 times faster. It's and it increases blood flow like 400%. So and you can wear it like for hours while you're traveling, or like after or before a training session. So you feel more recovered for your next training session.
Okay, let's buy one.
Okay, I'm gonna do it right now. I am sore.
Yes.
Because I am sore right now.
You're like, oh, my hips. I'm like, oh my
We talked about this earlier.
I have some in my backpack if you want to try them
By all
on.
means, look at that. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Interesting.
like shifting our gears here, the other brand that you've been working with, because at the end it's completely different. One is a device, Firefly, and Undrdog Athletix, it's apparel and clothing.
Yes.
So how different has been working with one company and the other when it comes to maybe content creation and you putting yourself out there?
Yeah, so there's a main reason why I chose 2 kind of completely different brands. Is I chose Firefly because I'm all about like sports performance. I want to be the best I can, but also I want to show people like I am more than just an athlete. Like my Christian values I put above anything else, and that is why I ultimately decided to partner with Undrdog Athletix. As I want to, I mean, not only they are an exceptional clothing brand, but I want to like share the gospel and to as many people as possible. And working with this company, I can post content, like repost their content, but also post my content of wearing the apparel or sending like verses on my online page. So it's like working with Undrdog Athletix is like honestly it's awesome. I love it.
Has that been a challenge a little bit? Sometimes like when any individual tries to kind of put their faith on the line to promote themselves as well as promote brands, it's kind of been sometimes been told a no, like a told don't do that. Has that been something that's ever been in your mind? Like,
you know, I mean, I've thought about that, but it's like it's who I am, you know, and like I mean, if there are some other deals that I may not get because of I'm working with like Christian values, I mean, then I would never take those deals anyway, you know. So it's about like I would rather show people who I am and like my Christian values. And
well, I just love to hear that, because at the end that comes back to what we were talking before, like how authentic you are and who you are. And at the end, that's you start building your brand. You're a freshman and you have 4 years to learn like who you want to be in the future for sure, but all of this is bringing to that point of you are really authentic to the values that you have, and companies love that too.
Right, and I think it shows that you have to be intentional with the brands that you're dealing with. Like,
Yes.
Like you said, if it's not going to align with the Christian values, then maybe you don't even want it at all.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are willing to put certain values aside for the fact that there might be a financial compensation, or for the fact that it's, you know, a moment for exposure. But the fact that we're seeing more people be more intentional with who they're choosing and having to put their authenticity first.
Yeah.
I think that's what NIL is about.
Yeah. And maybe like talk us a little bit of how you are building your brand.
I think the biggest thing for me is like I'm trying to be as active as I can on my social media accounts. I'm still working on the TikTok.
That
So
takes
are we.
more than a while.
But that will come at a later state maybe. But I'm trying to be like posting myself like on TCU Soccer or like my team reposting about that. I'm also like trying to connect with as many people as possible, like with my NIL professor, Mr. Bonos. I also have like my dad, he know a lot of people in the NIL area. So building those connections, and also just kind of thinking of different ways how I can be different compared to other people. So how I can leverage my NIL. But yeah, so just trying to all those different things and trying to expand my brand over 4 years is definitely the goal. So.
So you said you're really working on like how you can be different. Kind of, let's go a little deeper there. Like, how have you found that out? What's some things that you feel like is like unique about you that most people don't have or aren't like?
Yeah, so that's one thing that I'm trying to figure out actually right now because, you know, like on my Instagram, I want to do something different, but right now I'm just kind of like, you know, I have these 2 deals and I play for TCU Soccer, but I also just want to try to figure out something like my unfair advantage that will be different. So, but that's a good question because I'm still trying to figure it out. Yeah.
And you have time too. Like, and I feel like
Plenty.
the mindset that you have, it's an MVP mindset.
Okay,
You know?
dot. And I would say she done shouted out Principal in class so well. She done said so many things you learned in that class from the UVP, all of the advantage. I was like, my goodness, we're listening in class. That's good. Listen to your
You're paying attention.
Yes.
literally.
So when it comes to content creation and putting yourself in social media with the different brands that you work with, how do you would say that you can reach your audience in the best way?
I think for me, my Instagram platform is the platform I have the most followers. So I think posting like Instagram Reels or like pictures on Instagram of me like modeling the product, and also I've done like day in a life videos on TikTok.
Oh, nice.
So I think maybe like including like the devices or like my apparel that like of my brands in those videos, I think are some ideas that I may also do.
No, that's awesome. And I think it's a cute like a nice process of you figuring out like what you like. And there's so many options in social media you can do.
Sometimes we will look and we think like everybody just got it. It's a process. Like you gotta figure it out. You gotta figure out like what's best for you. Like it's almost like go to like 3 bears. Like which bed's best?
Yeah,
That's a weird analogy, but that's so looking forward, like how do you plan on expanding your brand? Like, is there any brands you're specifically like interested in? Like, what's your next steps?
So I think my next steps is continue to be active on my social media, continue to post like the brand deals that I have so far, but also like I said, connecting with as many people as possible and reaching out to more brand deals, and hopefully that will also influence other brands to come and like who's Cam Patton? Like I would love to join your brand, you know? The most important thing is like not only that I'm doing these brand deals because I'm interested in these brands, but also because I want people to know these brands. Like I want people to understand like the importance of the Christian faith, or you know, sports performance recovery, or you know, your favorite food or drink. Like, you know, I think that would be kind of cool. So just expanding my personal brand that way is just continue to be active in those areas.
No, and that's super important, because the other person that is on the other side of the screen sees when you are doing it because you really love that brand and you really value what they have and the product that they do, and like you use it. At the end, you are using Firefly for practice. I think it's really inspiring that you as a freshman have done what you've done, and you are getting into really deeper of trying to, I have these values and I kind of know who I am, but I still want to learn more about myself. You as a freshman, what do you advise to these high schoolers that are coming and just graduating and coming to college that maybe want to start getting more into NIL and maybe getting some deals?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just don't hesitate. Like, don't hesitate to reach out and to be who you are. Like, reach out to as many brands as you want. The worst case scenario is they don't reply or they say no.
Right.
You know, and then you move on. And then, like, and also don't be afraid of like who you are, or like how many followers you have, or like how famous you are, or like or if you're not famous at all, because I'm surely not famous at all.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
I don't know.
But but don't hesitate and just like be true to who you are, and like everything will fall into place. And if you have like goals and aspirations, continue just to work on those and focus on that.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a really good advice.
So something we always ask our guests, and this kind of goes to our whole theme, is what does an MVP mindset mean to you?
Having a mindset of accountability, adaptability, and also just a knowledge of the NIL space to have like in the world, and so you can have it in so many different ways, and you can influence the world and also just college athletics. So it's very important.
That's a really good insight.
And then what's y'all's record with soccer right now?
Well, we haven't lost in the Big 12s yet.
Come on.
So,
That's awesome.
yeah.
And then how do you feel like you've been playing this season?
I thought I've been playing pretty well. I've been getting some good minutes, so I'm
Good.
pretty excited. Yeah.
The freshmen out here just doing big things.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you so much for coming. Like, we
Thank you,
have
Cam.
enjoyed our conversation. You really blew us away with all your knowledge and everything.
Well, thank you guys so much. It's a pleasure being here, and I just loved it. So thank you guys.
And with that being said, if you like what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell to know always when we're posted, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye.